Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 5th of September. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, it's consolidated is probably the best description of yesterday. It moved in a very small range yesterday with the US markets, Canadian markets closed in the afternoon. We just saw further consolidation. So what's in store from here? It's a case of the waiting game, because basically, if you look over the last few days, it hasn't really given us anything but a sideward price action. Yes, there's been some sort of moves within the market, but just sort of looking here, are we getting some sort of clue to direction? Intermediate time frame coming back to that 4 hourly, well, there was that sort of flaggy pattern. I'm wondering if it will roll from here, but the very fact that it's consolidated for so long, we'll wait and see. I had drawn a trend line across the highs there. I'm not sure whether that is too meaningful, but if we do start seeing it break beyond that and the weekly pivot, well, it'll already be into the very narrow pivots today and be into the R1 pretty quickly into yesterday's highs. Certainly a possibility from what the early morning movement here, but as we know, post 8 o'clock many things happen and we can see a complete switch. So how would I be playing this today? Really looking for the break of the lows there for any sell-off, and maybe see post 8 o'clock with the price action and see if we can push back up and push into yesterday's highs and maybe further, but it is, as I say, very, very tight. And now I'm going to talk about news at this point. Okay, we had some Australian data, which I'll come back to in a moment, but we have got out later today, we've got the so a number of speakers, FOMC member Brainard, Kashkari and Kaplan all speaking, which could create some volatility this afternoon and into the evening. In fact, the first speaker is 1 p.m. So we've got really 1 o'clock would be the main one, but then really 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. But certainly, as I say, the first speaker could create some volatility into the market in our normal trading times for sure. Okay, let's go and have a look at the pound then. And well, it ran into its monthly pivot on Friday. Monday saw it coming away from that even further, and it sort of left us in this sort of choppy little old zone again. It's sort of more direction leading into Friday. It looked like it's going to be pushing up and onwards. At the moment, it's well, again, consolidated to sidewards is an easy tendency to sell quickly, but well, lower highs, lower lows really would suggest a downside, but any break perhaps above today's pivot may see us get a little bit more bullish. Maybe push up to yesterday's highs at some point. Maybe be worth waiting, see if it breaks the 50-34 moving averages sitting there on the alleys there. In terms of selling off, well, S1 would be a target at some point, but as I say, erring more bullish at the moment. But again, not clear after yesterday's price action. Dollar yen, well, we did see a sell off at some point yesterday. It did rally later afternoon. It sold off again this morning. More strength going into the yen, and it's choppy, but it is moving, as I say, to the downside. Now, apparently there is a gap across a lot of currency pairs, gap against the yen on a lot of brokers at the moment, and that may be filled at some point. But for now, we've got lower highs, lower lows, and well, just about everything ticked off for me here. It's quite difficult. If it does sell off some more, well, the pivots are pinched. It may run down even towards its S3 at this point. Aussie dollar, well, base rates were left the same. We got speaker at 10 o'clock this morning, 10 past 10. The Reserve Bank of Australia Governor low speaking, so we could see some more volatility at 10 o'clock on the Aussie dollars. But for now, there was no expectation of any changes, and well, We haven't seen any. And Aussie just holding up again, very, very choppy. There's not a lot I can do with that at the moment until I see some sort of price action and with a bit more clarity. If anything, with the higher lows that we've seen, sort of in more serious lows there, but failed to make a new high yesterday. Well, doesn't look easy or good, but I mean the news may just give us more direction anyway. I say news, but when the low speaks. Okay, and finally the Canadian dollar. Well, it's just not really moving too much either. Same old story going across these markets. They have nothing yesterday. I've got the weekly pivot still above, but at the moment it's trickling its way to the downside, and well, it could be back on for yesterday's lows at this rate, where it's chopping down, and maybe more, maybe even right back down to the S2, the daily S2. There would be the almost those prior lows, somewhere in that region. Any break above that 60-minute 50 may get me interested in a long targeting the weekly pivot, but for now I need to sit on the sidelines. So that's pretty much it for me. As I say, there are a few speakers. We have got a bit of data coming out for the pound actually services PMI at 9:30. Now it can be a bit of a mover, so that might be well worth waiting for, coming back to the pound here and give us a bit more guidance post 9:30 if we haven't got anything set up before then. Have a great morning, great day. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.